So you clicked on the link because you are thinking about getting into a real estate career. Well, we have a special guest today. We refer to him as Disney Mike. He is new to a real estate career and has exploded his business in his own way. So stay tuned. You aren't going to want to miss what Disney Mike did with his real estate business in a short amount of time.
Hey everyone, it's Laurie and Kalene with Just Finest Agents, and we are putting out a ton of new content this year all about how we grew our real estate business and each made $300,000 in real estate our second year in the business. So make sure you hit that subscribe button or that bell as we go over everything you want to know about how to grow your real estate business. Guys, we have people reaching out to us all the time. Teen leads, brokers, you name it. People are reaching out to us and we're helping them grow their business and increase their revenue. So reach out to us anytime. It's what we love to do, is help you grow your real estate business. If you are thinking of joining EXP and you want to join a fabulous team of sponsors and help you get the tools in front of you that you need to be successful, give us a call, 719-719-639-3393, or shoot us a text. You can drop down below. There is a link. You can schedule a 30-minute consultation with us for free, and we'll go over, where you're at in your business and how to grow your business. So reach out anytime, day or night. We love it. Hey everyone, so we are here with Mike Chalice today, and Mike is a new agent out of Florida and he is killing it in real estate. So we're excited to talk to him today and learn a little bit about how he got into real estate and kind of what he did before real estate and his journey to success as an agent. So welcome, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Laurie and Kalene. Nice to be here with you.
We talked to Mike too. He's a fellow YouTuber.
Yes.
And he has an incredible channel for out there in Florida. And that's kind of how we met Mike and learned about Mike. But when we initially talked to you, you were getting into a real estate career and trying to decide. I mean, there's so many directions you can go with a real estate career.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to kind of pick your brain about your recent journey into real estate and the success that you've had from the very start. So thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Okay, happy to be here. Thanks for having me. First, I'll just start with a little overview about myself. My wife and I grew up in Oregon in Washington State. We've been married for 34 years. We have two children, two daughters, aged 28 and 32. So a year and a half ago, we decided to move to Orlando from Washington State. That's a long distance move.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons we did that is because our kids that grew up, got married, moved out. We vacationed here in Orlando many times over the past 25 years, about 15 times. So we like the theme parks, the sunshine, the palm trees, coming from a cold climate where it rains cold rain and it's cloudy a lot. When every time we came to Orlando, the warm sunshine just felt like a warm hug. So that's why we moved here. After we moved here, before we moved here, I used to own 2 computer stores. So that was my career in Washington State.
Yeah, so you have a tech background, right?
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur, a small business owner for the last 21 years. We moved here to Orlando right during COVID in March 2020, right when the theme parks closed down. And those were one of the reasons why we moved here as well.
Yeah.
So during that time, last year, I had time to get my real estate license. So at first I was going to become a real estate agent. And I had a friend, I made friends with the realtor who sold me my house.
Yeah.
And so she was gonna start a timeshare career and switch from real estate to timeshare. So in the meantime, I was working on getting my real estate license. I decided I would do that. And I enrolled in a school. I wanted to take in-person classes at Dimitri Real Estate, School of Real Estate in Orlando. So I started working on that.
Did they have in-person during COVID, in-person classes?
Well, I did this more recently, like in
Okay.
April. I decided this in April.
Okay.
So I was on a phone call with my realtor friend, and she told me she was going to do this timeshare, work at one of the largest resorts in Orlando, one of the leading top brands. And I said, well, why would you do that instead of real estate?
Yeah, that would be
because
my question.
Yeah, we were going to work together as a team at one point. She invited me to be an agent and work with her doing the YouTube marketing because I had a theme park YouTube channel. And
Yeah,
I was
what's the name of your YouTube theme park channel again, Mike?
Theme Park Delight.
Theme Park
That's
Delight.
right.
That's right.
We call you Disney Mike in our phone.
Yeah.
We're like, Disney Mike's gonna hop on with
So
us.
she thought it would be a good idea for us to team up together and do YouTube video marketing for real estate, like you two are doing yourself there.
Right.
And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to become a real estate agent, to work with her and do the YouTube video marketing, because I thought YouTube was fun and exciting. And so when she told me she was going to do timeshare, I said, well, why would you want to do that instead of being a real estate agent? And there's some benefits to that because it's a full-time job. It's stable income. You don't have to do your own marketing. You don't have to pay for your technology stack, your CRM, your MLS, the association fees and everything.
Right.
And one day I talked to her for about 45 minutes. At the end of the call, I wanted to do that as well. So she invited me to go work there. They were currently hiring with a sign-on bonus.
Yeah, I remember that.
And at the end of the phone call, I was sold. I wanted to do that too, because my wife currently has stage 4 cancer.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
I was looking for a way to be able to spend more time at home with my wife after work and on my days off. So
Have a more
set
schedule.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to be that entrepreneur anymore. So
Yeah.
the opportunities in timeshare sales is you go to work, you clock in, you're there, they pre-qualify your leads, you meet people on the tours you go on, you do a tour for a couple hours, maybe 3 hours if you make the sale. You get 1 or 2 or 3 tours a day. So in just 2 hours, you have an opportunity to make your sale and get paid.
Right.
And go home early.
That's right. That's what I love about real estate.
Yeah.
That you can choose what you want to do. And like we help people all the time, like choose their own path. You know, it might not be what we enjoy, might not be the same path for other agents getting into real estate. So finding that niche for, you know, agents is that's what we love about real estate.
Well, and the nice thing is that, you know, you knew what it was being an entrepreneur, and you knew what you were getting into, which is different than a whole lot of people getting into a real estate career. And so like what Laurie said, you decided to go a whole different direction for personal reasons. What are the pros and cons in your opinion? Like, I know that you have to have an entrepreneurial spirit. You know, you've been doing it for many years and now you're working for somebody. Do you actually enjoy your free time off? You like that you can leave work at work?
Yeah, I do. I like that. I'm 54, so this is my 4th major career. So about every 10 years, I've switched gears.
You get
and
the itch to move, yeah.
in my lifetime. So something new and fresh enriches my mind. And at this point in my life, while doing the real estate school, I decided to study myself, my own personality. And there's a couple of YouTube channels, website that have helped me with that, to know my personality type. 16 Personalities is a good place to start. And myself, I'm an INTJ, so I'm an introvert. I'm intuitive. I'm also an intuitive thinker. And then my co-pilot in my cognitive function is effectiveness. So at first I'm shy and quiet. Like if I'm in a party setting, I'm not expressive. I don't go out and meet people a lot. But if I'm among people or I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about and I know a lot about, that's the
It comes through.
effectiveness part of me, then I love talking about it.
Mhm.
So that's why when I started this job, because I like vacations, my family took a lot of vacations in the past 34 years, and half of those were in Florida. So I love talking about the theme parks, the sunshine, the palm trees. And when families are on vacation, they're making memories with their family, quality time with their kids, experiencing new things. So I get passionate and excited about talking about
You're an
that.
effective introvert, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
So-
it kind of reminds me of like, I'm just picturing like almost this crash course in sales. Like
Right.
you have to learn what you love about what you're selling really
Right.
quick to be effective. And that's just a good skill for anybody in sales. I'm the same way. If I don't believe in it, I'm not going to
Mhm.
be able to sell you anything. If I
Right.
believe in what I'm doing and there really is a passion there, easier
Mhm.
than, walking. I can talk all day about something that I'm passionate about. So,
Mike, how did you first get into YouTube? How did you start your Disney channels, your theme park channels?
Oh, so about 5 years ago, a friend of mine was watching a lot of YouTube about the theme parks, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and especially in Florida. There's a couple of popular channels, and he said, "Hey, check this one out. This new water park that Universal Studios just opened called Volcano Bay. Look how fun this is." And there was a guy there doing the water slides and trying everything with his GoPro. and he invited me to go on a vacation with him. Him and his wife and me and my wife, we all went there together. He connected it with a business trip. He was one of my customers who owned a family fun center. So we went to an Orlando trade show for theme parks and fun centers and that kind of stuff. So he connected it with a business trip. We went along, we made it a vacation. We went there and had fun at the water park. And because of all that, I just decided to buy the camera gear and start vlogging myself. So the next few times we went on vacation at the theme parks, I started making the videos, and it's fun.
Are you still making the videos on your channel? Is your channel still active?
I haven't made one for 3 months, but I'm going to get back into it. I took time off to get used to my new job. So if we shift back to that conversation, the first 2 weeks once I got hired, the first 2 weeks, they sent me into a crash course of training. One nice thing about this company is they're one of the best in the industries. They're in the best benefits for their employees. So they give us the sales training and the mentorship. So 2 weeks of intense training. And then once I started doing my sales tours, that was July 1st, my first day on the tours. I was a little bit nervous, but after I knew that if I could get past the first week and then the second week, it would get better. I knew because of my introverted personality that it would be really hard and I'd probably want to quit at some point.
Yeah, you've been really successful though, it sounds like.
But I made a note to myself that no matter how much that feeling comes up, that's the 3-year-old in the backseat telling me to quit. And my introverted thinker in the front seat and my effectiveness as the co-pilot would override that feeling. So I pushed through it. In my first week, I did 10 tours and I got 2 sales. So as a rookie, that's really good. And a couple times I would go on a tour with one of the trainers, and they would be quietly evaluating me, typing notes. On the 2 ride-alongs that I got with the trainers, I got a sale each time. So that really gave me, that really
you
gave me
like
some
the pressure
confidence.
then.
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks that in real estate, you have to be an extrovert. And I think a lot of people who, listen to our channel or our podcast or, follow along with us might think, I'm naturally kind of more of an introvert, but, as a real estate agent, you can also be an introvert and be very successful in real estate.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've studied how an introvert can be effective in sales. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about that. And of course, I have good training at work, but 70% of the people on a timeshare presentation say no.
Yeah.
And so you got to get used to people saying no and how to overcome objections. And one of the ways to do that is third-party stories. So they teach us how to deal with all that and learn it and know it. And buying is an emotional experience, is an emotional reason why when people buy, that's why they buy, because of emotion. And then the logic is the reason why they keep it after they buy it. So for me as an introvert, to try to get people, put them in the picture with emotion, that's hard for me. And I'm learning, I'm getting better. And so now I've had 10 sales in my first 5 weeks on the job. And so I'm doing better now. And I made about $10,000 in my first month on the job.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
And it just goes up from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So my question to you would be, you found a niche in real estate that maybe even initially you didn't know you were going to wind up at. Do you, where was I going with it? Do you still feel like you're selling? I mean, you're still selling real estate. You're still writing contracts. Do you feel like everything that you've experienced is setting you up to one day, or, you know, if life circumstances change wherever, that you would be more confident stepping out and doing this as an entrepreneur again? Or do you like the comfort of having that steady paycheck and leaving work at work? Like, I know sometimes people, when my husband was an entrepreneur for almost 18 years and went to work for somebody. And I think it was hard for him to get used to a lot of things, not having flexibility, feeling like he has to be there for his time, you know, during the day. But then again, being able to leave work at work was really invaluable to him, because we used to work nonstop and come home and we'd talk about work stuff that still needed to get done. Like, it's kind of a perk, I guess, in a way that a lot of people don't imagine real estate, I guess.
I would go back to being an entrepreneur as a real estate agent and doing the YouTube marketing. That would be my plan B. But as long as this plan A is working and I'm happy with it and I'm making money, the money potential, it just goes up from where I'm at. There's other agents there that are making 200, 300,000 plus. So I work on a team of experts, and a lot of people there have 10 years, 20 years, 30 years experience. The management team is good. The training is good.
Yeah. No, I remember when you reached out to Kalene and I, you were just taking your classes, and we're super happy that, you know, you were able to find your niche, and, you know, we could help you along that journey a little bit. I remember your text messages coming through saying, you know, just you're different and just you're super successful in your second, third, or fourth career. It sounds like you're doing great. And I know that if you get into real estate, you would do a YouTube channel. So that's because, you know, we love YouTube, Mike. So have you ever thought of doing like a YouTube on your timeshare?
Well, maybe at some point.
You probably have to like understand the full picture to know the direction you'd want to go.
Yeah, right. And when, you know, if you ask somebody, what do you know about timeshare? Well, why don't I just ask you two? What do you know about timeshare?
Well,
so
it's part-time.
Really,
you go once
thoughts.
or twice a year to a timeshare that you own a unit with multiple people, and you own a fraction of it for those 7 to 2 weeks that you purchase.
Well, and my parents bought into timeshare. They have several of them now, but their initial one, when they bought in, it literally was week whatever and whatever at this resort. And I know that the latest that they've bought, it's more on a point system. So I think it's morphed into, and I'm sure there's different products, but All I know is that we went on really good vacations growing up.
Yeah.
And my mom said she enjoyed it because it made her plan our vacations. And so you're
Yeah.
very intentional about making that family time and going to places, you know, and I think my mom enjoys doing the vacation planning. So
Yeah, so what Laurie explained was the old style of timeshare where you buy a week at
I'm
one
old school,
resort.
Mike.
You have to, what's that?
I said, I'm old school.
Yeah, that's the old school, like the black and white TV or the telephone on the wall with a cord on
You're
it.
dating me, Mike. You're making me not old.
So that kind of timeshare, you buy a week at one resort, you have to come back to that same resort that same week, and then they made it to where you can exchange it for another week, or you could maybe even go to other places within that same brand. But now it's a lot more flexible than that because they use points instead of weeks. So you buy into your ownership, you own points. And with those points, you can exchange those. So you don't always have to come back to that resort that you bought at or that brand. You can go to the other brands too, like Hilton, Wyndham, Disney, Hyatt, and Sandals, etc. Worldmark. You can go to all those other brands. So it gives you over 7,300 resorts you can exchange your points and go to. And the nice thing about points are like kind of the money. It's the spending account you get to go on vacation. Like your retirement account is a 401k. The points are your 401v, V for vacation.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
now the inflation that normally makes your vacations cost more each year because you're not spending the money anymore to go on vacation. You're spending your points. So now you don't have to spend more and more each year. And once you pay off your ownership, like let's say you're financing it, making payments, once that's paid off, you're still vacationing and instead of renting at hotels. Hotels are cramped accommodations. They're usually small. You get one little box, a bed.
I like being able to go home and make my own food at night. Especially after a theme park.
I like food.
Yeah, so you know, a hotel is like the bed, the bath, the Bible, and the bill. That's rent. That's 100% loss. When you own your vacations, you can stay at resorts, and so it's staying in like a condominium lifestyle at a resort. You got a full kitchen, you got multiple bedrooms, you got laundry.
Yeah.
So it makes your vacations more fun. And have you ever went on a vacation and you feel like afterwards, if you stayed in a hotel, you need a vacation from your vacation?
Yeah.
When it's time,
Tired,
when it's time to go home, you're just like, let's just get out of here and go. This place is cramped.
Yeah.
But then if you go to a resort and you're staying in like the condominium with all the amenities they have at the resort, you don't want to go home after your vacation.
A lot more luxury.
Yeah. Well, it sounds
I think
like
you found your niche.
I know, I was gonna say, Mike, it sounds like you found your niche, and we appreciate you joining us today. It sounds like, you are just thriving, and, you just got your license. I think it's great for people to hear from someone who just got their license, and
10,000 in the first month. That's pretty hard to beat.
And I love
there.
that, you found your own niche in real estate. And that's what Kalene and I try to help, other agents do all the time, is find, there's many different facets of real estate. So to find your own niche and to be successful, instantly, we're just super happy that that's where you're at and you're just doing well. So we want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And then we'll keep in contact with you and see how you're doing and follow along your YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, you got to check it out. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels, and your subscriber account is great. So any other questions that you have, reach out anytime, but we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Bye.